Welcome back. We got another chapter of One Piece for you, chapter 1179. Norona Emu Descends. So it is actually happening. Um, I didn't know, at the last chapter, I was like, I don't know, they been going right for you, Emu, but hey, you showing up in person this time? All right, you probably won't change the script. So let me shut my mouth and just read. Cover request by Naoma wants to travel. Ace, Otama, and Yamato taking boar piglets on a field trip to the wetlands. I would love to see what the story would continue to be if Ace was alive, but I don't think we get to this point of the story without Ace dying. So let's get right to it. I am skipping the notes. Sorry if you were waiting for that. I've been butchering everything Uda has been saying at those notes, so I'm gonna just skip it this time. Right to the chapter. What's Emu planning? Great Emu. Dot dot dot. Did I hear you correctly? Yeah, Emu just told the rest of the Goro say that I'll be leaving the Holy Land for a bit. The Holy Land of Mariejois. Room of authority. Surely you don't intend to actually visit Elbaf yourself. Please reconsider for you to descend to the lower realm. This is no time for idleness. How long can the Holy Land possibly be defended under these conditions, says Garling? Shamrock's return seems to have helped quell the matters, but we were arrogant to think that we could easily stop the lower realm dwellers from using starvation tactics against us. What good are leaders who can't even keep their own troops fed? Hey, that's a lot said by Garland right there. Our priority should be rallying the military might needed to assert global dominance. Our priority should be rallying the military might needed to assert global dominance, even the former Navy HQ. Garling want everybody to be fighting. Ring, ring, gotcha. Garling, where's the food? This is no way for this of a celestial dragon to live. Get hot. Get hot. Oh, and that's your calling. Labo phase power plant. Labo phase power plant, Mary Joie. Thought I told you, Garland. I thought I told you, York. The Holy Land is currently facing a food shortage. Do you know one of the things that might break this deadlock? The Mother Flame. If you truly wish to live like a celestial dragon, hurry and produce energy. And York goes, I'm hungry. Ugh, and just falls over. This wasn't part of the deal. Some might claim the original Vegapunk was aligned with this rebellion. Consider your penance. And gotcha. One disaster after another, says Darling. And it all started after Nika resurfaced. Dot dot dot. Are we to write this off as a mere coincidence, or was all of that inevitable? In any case, Great Emu, you should not leave Pangaea Castle. Allow us to dispatch Navy admirals to Elbaf instead. Nojiro say that won't do. Consider all the other incidents that have arisen. That have arisen. Okay, I don't like that translation. That have rose. That have a rose. I don't know. Our hands are tied. In that case, we must once again Okay, that won't do. Consider all the other incidents that have arisen. Our hands are tied. In that case, we must once again Walkery. Oh. This is Emu the Walkery. This is no mere coincidence. Arrogance, idleness, negligence, pride. Thou must cast aside those follies at once. It all this was inevitable. And then we go to a flashback of Rocks in Pangaea Castle talking about I'll be back. Roger talking about seek it out. Um, I guess this is a flashback of Neptune, but I don't know how Emu would know about Neptune and Poseidon. It appears that Neptune has had a daughter. We go to Shanks. That devil fruit was stolen. Herald, is something unforeseen lurking on Elbaf? Flashback of Loki. We have new intel on the fog ship's captain. His name is Loki. He is Herald's son. Flashback to Whitebeard. Why would Whitebeard protect that young man? Who is he? Monkey D. Luffy and Marineford and Marshall D. Cheech. And that one, Marshall D. Cheech. Nefertari D. Lily, Cobra, when he brought that up. Joy Boy, Davy Jones. And at this point where you see Joy Boy and Davy Jones, you see the ripped up wanted posters of Luffy and Blackbeard. And Emu says, will thou keep making moves, suffer, retrieve, Vivi, dot, dot, dot. As Emu was looking at this gigantic poster of either Nefertari D. Lily or Vivi, and it kind of looks smack alike. So back to Emu. It was all set into motion long, long ago. Great Emu, as Emu stands on this this pentagram circle getting ready to teleport. The Holy Land shall be left in all thine hands. Great Emu, if you go to the surface realm, dot dot dot, we have no authority to forbid this, says Garland. I'm gonna just read what everybody say. But Great Emu, if you do this, if you leave this castle, says Warkery, Nojuro, it is not our place to question this. The the great one is fully aware of the consequences. No one can stop them. And whoosh, just like that, Emu sets off the Elbaf with one of those pentagram circles and is gone. This is the ideal time to attack Merge Wall in Pangaea Castle if anybody had outside the Gorosei had known, but they don't know. So we go back to Elbaf, New World. Hardin, Stanson, West Village, Realm of the Sun. Check it out. One of the demons was trying to put himself back together again. So I check it out. One of the demons was trying to put himself back together again. So screw you. Don't dare mess with me. He's still alive in this state. Look, it's like a magnet. Freaky. You're the real freak. So this is like a miniature. Is it a person, a small person? Oh, this is Summer. She is holding on to Summers. Okay, Gerd is holding on to Summers. They called you Gerd. I remember that. I swear, I'll remember that. Swear I'm gonna give you a gruesome death. As Gerd is constantly just squeezing Summer's head. I think you should take a look at this too, Deshu. Thump thump. And it looks like he's holding a heart. Harden and Zoro look. A steel heart. I wonder. Zoro says, if I destroy this, would he still be able to patch himself back up? And you see Summer's face gasp and go dark. Like, please do not do that. Okay, now we go near Walrus School. Hang in there. Usopp, Brook. All of your bones are busted. Want me to turn you guys into cyborgs, says Frankie. And then Jinbei turns his axe for where's Chopper? Where's Chopper? Um, cut over to Sanji and Killingham. Killingham says, I won't forget your name, Sanji. It tells Sanji, you better remember mine. Sanji says, I already forgot. With Killingham's body parts literally just hung from the tree. And it's a block of ice that is still holding Gunko in it. Uh, Loki goes to the school and says, someone froze the school. And Lilith says, not quite. Its thermal energy was absorbed. Loki says, well, was a bust. All the school's lunch supplies are rock solid and tasteless now. Food, says Luffy. We should give some to Usopp and the others. Loki says, focus on getting yourself back to normal first. Loki, that person you froze earlier, are they dead? Loki says, it was a flash freeze, so they won't die, but they can only be thawed out by Ragnar here. They won't be able to escape at any rate, so don't sweat it. Squeak, squeak. That is great news for, I want to say, Brooke and whoever this Gunko girl really is. And Nami is looking out at Zeus still spraying water over the fires. Huh? And Nami goes, what? And sees giant, a giant black mass of hockey descending upon Elbath. And we know who this is. All the giants start to notice as well. What in the world is that? That black smoke looks weird. What? God, and there's a whole bunch of them starting to hit Elbath all at the same time. What? Look at the sky. And you see a gigantic pentagram circle and all this black ooze just coming down off of it in like black flames. Is that a magic circle? Uh, Nami says, everybody come here quick. What is this rumbling? I'm right by your side, Nami. Swan. And you go back to the pentagram. You see a lot of this stuff just zooming in, zoom, zoom. Clearly, the black mass is descending on Elbath, as well as the pentagram, which is gigantic, the largest we've seen. The giant still looking dismay. And it looks like this black mass is turning some of the homes into homies, in a very big momish type of way. Duran, Duran. Ooh, wow, the houses are. What the heck? Is this a dream? Ah, ooh, ah. People just screaming, giants just screaming. The trees and the houses are seem to be being possessed by whatever Emu's black mass is. The forest trees too. Is this another one of their abilities? And it seems like maybe everything that's encapsulated in that magic circle or surrounded by these black flames can maybe this is an awakening that we don't know of. Maybe this is closer to an awakening if you ask me. And then a final strike of black mass hits the Owl's castle right where Shamrock and Gunko first appeared. The giants are all like holding back. You see hockey. The kids have passed out. Harden, Gerd, and Goldberg, they're all just looking in surprise. Chopper is on Zoro's face. That's Conqueror's hockey. Loki says it's coming from the castle. Hey, isn't this the same hockey from before? I'm guessing that's Loki saying that. And Luffy just looks old and wrinkly at the moment. Our castle interior, throne room. Ugh, cough, cough. Ugh, splat. Huff, huff. So Emo landed in our castle and immediately threw up blood. Huh? Is that? I'm just assuming it's blood. We don't. I don't know if Emu could bleed. Oh, and now some more of this hockey is emanating straight off of itself. Bzz, bzz, ah! And you can see some wings come off of Emu and like this giant explosion inside of our castle. Yarul, Dory and Brogy, they say, who is that? Because they all reacted to this gigantic field of hockey. We get a wide shot of the devastation Bada's pentagram, more of these black homies that have been created on Elbath. Dillingham says, the great one. Summer says, don't tell me he came here in person. And then somebody says, look, there's someone on the castle's spire. World government creator, one of the first 20. Ability, devil fruit, devil's fruit. What? Ability, devil's fruit? Oh, that. What? Oh, okay. So this is the tail that pierced Sabo. Okay, cool. That's fire. We got a black awakened, like black cloud cloak around them, white hair, horns that curve, dark skin, white tattoos. Kind of looks like the emblem of the government on their back, skulls and eyes on the black clouds, like it's a second awakening almost. And it's like crazy looking dagger like sword sitting on top of what would look like a pyramid, but it's just the top of a house. But oh, this is fire ass intro. King of the world, Saint Nerona Emu. He descends, so it is a he. King of the world, Saint Nerona Emu. All right, so um, okay, this was a chapter just to introduce Emu for sure. The double ringed eyes, dark skin, white hair. Something tells me that Emu, this Mu, I don't know if this is a single, it's like a single race. You know what I mean? I feel like this is a combination of several different races that's going on here. But Akuma, Akuma, devil is written here entirely in katanaka, whereas it's typically written with kanji for the normal devil fruit. So I guess it's not revealing the devil fruit, but I don't know. I don't know why he told us ability if we don't know what Emu's ability is. I wanted to know about this book, but we're not about to know about this book no time soon. But this chapter was pretty quick. But this was great to see Emu. This is I don't know what to make of Emu. Now, if people want to say Emu is a god, I'm glad to go along with that. Y'all trying to get me to say Chopper's a god, and I need more proof. Hey, that's not gonna work. But if y'all want to say this person is a god, hey, go for it. Go for it. Why don't y'all say Emu's a god? Just go ahead and jump out the gate and say that. But this is Stud Lee, the Black Flames. And I guess this is why we were introduced to Luffy's transformation early on, so we could see this black flame transformation. But doesn't this kind of like indicate this is a zone type of devil fruit? Or am I tripping? Because I thought this was like a zone transformation type of like cloud, a zone type of zones. And the white tattoos, I'm really intrigued by the white tattoos. I don't think we ever seen white tattoos. But the white tattoos kind of remind me of the Birkins up in Skypiea. At least they had tattoos. They weren't white necessarily, but very interesting detail to this character. I am very intrigued to see what this Emu can do. And the fact that they showed up to fight Luffy and Loki like this, because I did not think it was that deep. I feel like it's better to fight another day. But maybe Emu thinks I have to go ahead and get these two out of here now. But the only thing that's throwing me off is when you transform back into this form, you die. You're bleeding. You're not just bleeding because you got hurt. This form is running out of energy. It's like an Orochimaru type of like body. You know what I mean? Like you can't sustain this body. You can sustain that black mass form, but this actual body you can't sustain because it's been way too long. You know what I mean? And this is just me spitballing. I don't know for sure, but this is just my idea about it. You don't transform into your true form and you start bleeding out your mouth immediately. That gives me idea that this isn't your real body. This gives me real credence that this isn't your real body at all. And I guess I was assuming that this black tail was maybe a part of that black mass that we were seeing when we've seen emo all this time, but maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh yeah, another question. Is this the first time that Emu has left Pangea Castle in the after the voice entry? Is this the first time? And why does Emu have a face tattoo very similar to that of Dragon? Now I can't really see it all, but the fact that you have a tattoo on the same side of your face as Dragon says a lot to me. Um, very, very tough entrance, but it gives us some credence to why Emu does not leave Pangea Castle often. Just by turning into this regular form, Mu hurt himself instantly. Instantly hurt himself. Instantly got internal damage. Maybe it's from fighting in the past, and that's why you keep that other form to not put so much strain on your actual body. But just looking at this body, like he kind of looks like a Lunarian. Yeah, he looks like a Lunarian with tattoos. I don't know where else to go from there. The horns have thrown me off. Um, if he has some type of zone devil fruit, that's also throwing me off. Maybe this is the devil fruit form that we not. Maybe it is. There's no telling at this point. We got a break week to literally go over this as much as possible, but this threw me through a loop, y'all. I ain't got much to say about this chapter. It was a good chapter introducing emu like this, but bro, whoa, does it? I don't know if this bodes well. I did say Elbath was looking too easy if they just fight in the God Knights. So I kind of got my wish. Somebody came that was better than the God Knights. So now hopefully Luffy returns to form to fight. Or Loki takes on this version of Emu first. But I'm not assuming that this fight is going to even last long. More of a taste of what's to come kind of deal. Um and this is just if I was writing it. I'm not the writer. But wouldn't you want Luffy and Loki to lose here so Emu could leave? Because I don't see Emu just getting whooped on Albath. Like this is just too soon. Emu should have came with a squad, and then I don't understand why Emu didn't come with a squad. I don't even understand why this is more important than saving like the Holy Land from starvation. Why is this more important? Why are Luffy and Loki more important than what's going on with the Revolutionary Army back, you know, back at Murray's Wall? I really don't understand. But hey, to each his own. That's your place to where you reign. That's where you reside. The Revolutionary Army is secondary, second tier, I guess. But people up there starving, York starving. They trying to recreate the Mother Flame as soon as they possibly can to turn the tide. But yeah, without everything being in place for the world government, the pirates and the rebels have the upper hand, like through and through. And honestly, if Emu was really about it, if you ask me, Emu should have showed up on Dragon's front step in this form if you want to get rid of your enemies. But clearly, Emu has been waiting on this moment where the inevitable was happening, and the inevitable is the will of D. I guess from all these flashbacks that we saw, the will of D is alive, and even though Whitebeard wasn't a will of D, I think he's probably him and Neptune. I don't think they're will of D people or Loki's, so to speak, but seems like there's a lot of connections that Emu is putting together. All this was inevitable. Emu is finally understanding that Emu could not escape what was happening. This was about to happen. It was all set into motion long, long ago. So Emo must know what set the Willa D into motion, or what the ramifications of what's happening today are something that Emo kind of like bypassed hundreds of thousands of years ago, if that's what I'm getting at. Didn't care. Emu didn't care back in the day. Emu thought, I won. I don't have to worry about these people anymore. But just going back to why we introduced rocks at the beginning of this chapter, not the beginning of this chapter, but in this whole Elbaf arc, it's because Rock showed up on his step like, yo, I will be back. And the three people that you really are worried about, the two main people you're worried about, is Joy Boy and Davy Jones. The descendant of Davy Jones and the new Joy Boy. Now you got a gigantic ass dragon that you got to deal with as well that does not get possessed by your energy. So this is turning into what I do believe what that mural was trying to tell us about, but it's more that happened in that story that we haven't been privy to yet. What happened in that story and what Emu is referring to is that picture. I think that picture, that mural, is referring to what Emu was talking about because Emu was there, but maybe Emu wasn't. Maybe, yeah, I don't know, because if I'm trying to go to the mural now because I'm just like, it's so much to look at, but it is starting to come together that Emu is definitely that creature on the left, right? Like, wouldn't you think he's that creature on the left? The horns. Maybe they don't curve the way we would like, but wouldn't you think, right? I would love to believe Loki is that image at the top, that dragon at the top. I also believe this is Loki over here fighting this person holding the sun, and I'm still trying to figure out what this giant snake thing is on the right. But um, I don't think we're gonna get this solved as easily as we want it to be, which is okay. Which is okay. I know we've seen a lot of different things, and Oda is throwing curveballs at us left and right, trying to see if we can ever keep up. But I don't think it's up for us to try to keep up. I just think we just need to pay attention to all the clues and then just accept the ending for what it is. But yeah, just looking at this chapter and just going off the appearance of Emu himself, Emu looks like a Lunarian with some maybe ancient giant, or who else has horns? Um, I don't know. There's some different traits that Emu got going on. That doesn't make me feel that, it really does not make me feel like this person was one of the first 20. And at least in this form. Maybe this form is the devil fruit form because it's awakened devil fruit. Let's just go with that. Maybe this isn't the actual form of Emu. This is the awakened devil fruit form of Emu. And that's why we're seeing it this way. But I'm going to continue to say that Emu instantly throwing up blood from this transformation or just getting teleported to Elbeth is not a good sign for Emu. Maybe age is playing more of a factor on Emu than we first thought. But it does surprise me that Emu was like, "Oh, I gotta go fight these dudes. This was inevitable. I can't hide from them no more, or I can't, avoid this fight anymore. I have to go fight them straight up." And I like that. I like that from Emu. Emu saying, "Yeah, this started a long time ago," and I wonder how many encounters has Emu actually been through. We've just been given the stuff that we know in the recent past. This is all like 40, 50 years of worth of knowledge. And it's not even hundreds of years. This is just stuff that happened in the past recently, 40, 50 years ago, up until now. So what happened for hundreds of years? Did this happen over and over for hundreds of years and Emu won? Or was Emu just, able to just avoid as much as possible? I don't know. But this was a great chapter. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe. Um, Follow your boy. Hey man. Hey man. We gonna try to do this more often. Get to cooking, but your boy be scheduled. I be scheduled all crazy, all funny, all wild. But man, thank y'all for tuning in. Truly do appreciate y'all each and every time. But yeah, we gonna go ahead and package this up and get this up out of here. So until next time.